Jessica, and I'm with the EOU Reading Clinic. We are a nonprofit organization based out of La Grande, Oregon, and our mission is to partner with families across Eastern Oregon to ensure that every child is a confident, capable reader. I'm here today to talk you through a super fun resource that we have for kindergarten families, and that is this Read, Write, and Play pack. This pack includes some basic, fun, and evidence-based ways that you can support your young aspiring readers at home. So let's jump in. The first thing that you'll see in this pack is a parent guide. Now, I do want to point out that this parent guide is in both English as well as Spanish. So that's accessible to families speaking either of the two languages. The materials themselves are in English, but you will have some directions available in English or Spanish, depending on what level of support you need and what language best suits your needs. The first thing, as far as activities go, in addition to that activity guide, so you'll see this previewed in the activity guide we're going to talk it through today, is an alphabet journal. Proper handwriting strokes are an essential skill for kindergartners to learn. So learning the correct way to form letters has many benefits for students. Number one, it builds fine motor skills, and it teaches students to write letters in the most efficient way. Number two, it helps children internalize those correct letter shapes, which then improves their ability to recognize the letters and remember the sounds that they make when they move into beginning to read. Research tells us that handwriting practice in kindergarten is linked to improved reading and improved spelling. As children become more automatic in writing their letters, it also reduces their frustration and fatigue, and it frees up the brain power they need to really focus on what they want to write. When you're having your child work through this alphabet book, a couple of tips. Number one, be sure to have your child say the sound as they write the letter. So this not only helps them build that fine motor skill and proper letter strokes that I was talking about to be efficient, but it's also teaching them the letter and sound association. As a quick example, we have the letter L. You'll see directional arrows on the screen that shows that you're doing a big line down and a little line over. So we're going to be following those directional arrows, and then we're also going to be saying L, O. Having your child do that gives you twice the benefit for really no extra additional time. The other thing I want to point out is fatigue is a real thing. So you can do one page at a time or even just a few lines at a time. Just be sure that you're having them do those correct letter strokes according to the direction that the arrows model for you, and also that you're having them say the letter sounds. Okay, moving on to the next element in your kit. We have an opportunity to help kiddos practice at a sound level. Now, this might feel a little bit silly or interesting to think about practicing sounds without associating letters to them, but this is actually a very important skill. So being able to hear sounds, being able to blend together sounds to make words is the foundation that kiddos need for learning to read, and it doesn't even involve letters yet. As adults, many of us have forgotten what it feels like to look at a word and need to figure it out by looking at each letter. But by connecting each letter to a sound we know, and then blending those sounds to create a spoken word, that's actually how we lift text off of the page and translate it into a word that we're reading in our mind or a word that we're reading aloud. This happens so fast, we don't even realize that our brain is doing it. But this is what young students do. So a beginning reader sees a string of letters on a page. They think a sound for each of those letters, and then they blend the individual sounds to make a word. As an example, if we have the word cat, a new beginning reader is going to see a C, and they will know K, an A, and they will know a T, and they will know T. Now they've spoken each of those sounds inside their brain, K, at, cat. The sounds blend together to make a word. On the flip side of that, in order to spell, we first have to be able to hear every sound in the word that we want to spell. And then we use our alphabet knowledge to know what letter we use to represent the sounds. We'll go to dog lovers next. So let's say we have the word dog. We have a full complete word, dog. We have a picture in our mind of maybe the dog that we're thinking about writing about. But in order to write the word dog, we have to break down that word into individual sounds. The individual sounds in dog are d, og, and then we're going to write a letter, D, A, O, and G, So we're associating each individual sound with a letter, or later on letter combinations that make those sounds. What's the point of that? The point is that being able to blend together sounds and words helps us read, and being able to take apart sounds and words is what helps us spell. This is why this game is so relevant for kindergarten friends. Within your kit, you'll notice that you have a spinner. It's got 2, 3, 4, and 5. These numbers simply represent the number of sounds that a child might see in a word. And then it's also got some cards. Okay, they look like this. This one is a zoo. This one is a plant. Okay, so you've got a stack of cards. The actual title of the game is, I think, like spinning phonemes, and I just will let you know phonemes is the fancy reading teacher word for sounds. So if you think of a telephone, you think of talking on a phone, phonemes is associated with sounds. The way that you play this game, you'll pick some cards. I wouldn't start out with, every card in the deck because I think that would be a little overwhelming for your kindergartner. But start with a few cards and spread them out on the table. Let's pretend that I have these ones as an example. So I might spread these 3 out. Now, if you look on the back, you'll see all 3 of these have 5 sounds, which makes it a little tricky. So when you're spreading out cards, try to find some that have 5 and 3 and 4 and 2, so that you have a variety of cards, okay? Child will spin the spinner. If they land on a 5, one of these would be a great choice for them. The yellow side is down and the picture side is facing up. So let's say it's this one. The child will see the picture of a skunk and we'll say, what word is that? Skunk. Okay, sounds in skunk. That's 5 sounds. You can check and confirm on the back, and then they would be able to take that card if they spun a 5. Let's say they had a 3. They might choose this one. So this is a picture of a jet. Jet. So then they could take that card if they spun a 3 on the spinner. You can also give them some excellent sounding and blending practice with letters on the back. So we know the picture is jet. Now we can look at the letter and the sounds they make. Jet, jet. Okay. Sound practice activities, tons of benefit for your child because being able to take apart and put together sounds is what we do when we spell and when we read. Final thing that you are going to see in your kit is a set of what I'll call alphabet activity cards. Now, these cards come with a dry erase marker. They also come with some foam letters. The benefit here is that you've got some levels of support built in for your child. So your child's working through that handwriting journal that we talked about. Maybe they're to the point where they are able to write all of the 26 letters that we have in our alphabet. Maybe they're still learning those, but you want to get started on these alphabet cards. And so instead, what you might do is use the foam letters or use a combination of the 2. There are 20 different cards within the set. And the very first card, or 2, actually just start out with the alphabet. Now, these don't have those directional arrows on them, but you can go back to the handwriting journal and see which direction we would go about making the letter shapes. Your child can just pick the foam letter. See how this little A right here is almost the exact same size as the A on the card? So they could just match the letters to the letters on the card. A, B, B. So make sure you're having them say the letter name and the sound the letter makes. The other thing that they could do is they could trace. And then there's an eraser on the end of the marker, so that makes it really handy. You can go in order, or you can be a little sneakier and say, trace or write over the letter that makes the ah sound or the x sound, as in O and X. So you can do a variety of things to give lots of repeated practice, and the beauty about it is they can just erase and try again. After that, you'll also see some options for having the child build or write their name. So perhaps they build their name with these foam letters and then they write their name above. Perhaps they build it with foam letters and they write their name below as well as above. So lots of options there. It then moves into some individual letter practice where they would they would build it with a foam letter and then write it. You have some other games where they can just draw letters out of the bag and then make what we call CVC words, which basically just means a consonant. The consonants are blue, and a vowel, those are red, and then another consonant that's blue. You can make real words or nonsense words. So this can be very fun to build words to put into your alphabet soup and decide, did I make a real word like cat or cab? Or did I make a nonsense word like dib? So have fun with that. More handwriting support that really highlights the space that letters take up within any given line. These first letters are small, meaning that they all land between the midline and the baseline. This next bit of letter group, or these next bit of letters, are tall, and that means that these stretch all the way up to that top line. And these letters do what we call fall, meaning they go down below the baseline to figure out the letter. So this is in there. There's some practice with beginning and ending sounds. So here we're moving from can to car to cap. And students can use foam letters or use their marker. Again, either one. This is that same practice, but with initial sounds. And then the same practice, but with vowel sounds in the middle. The activities go on and on throughout this section. You could spend 5 minutes every few days and have weeks or months of practice time with your kindergartner and these cards. The last thing that I do want to highlight is this high frequency or sight word list and practice area. These words are the most common words that we see in text. And for our youngest readers, it's really helpful to teach some of those words first. You'll see the list of words, and you'll just follow the little parent script here to teach it. So today's word is, the first word that's on the list is the word the. I would either write or build the word the out of foam letters. And then it gives you ideas to try. Say the word, cheer the word, whisper the word, look at what letters it starts with. You can clap the sounds in the word. So lots of activities, and then you'll have your student write that word 2 times. So tons of possibilities for you and your kindergarten student. This video is always available for you to come back and jump into and watch again. Something else that we developed that comes with your kit is this quick getting started guide for parents. So you'll notice we've broken it down by the 3 activities that you have within the kit. Again, that's your handwriting practice journal, that's your how many sounds or phonemes game, and then all those activity cards and foam letters. We hope that you enjoy this kit with your kindergarten student. Our social media information, as well as our email contact, can be found here. So please reach out if you have questions. Otherwise, good luck and have fun. Thanks, everybody.